What's going on, everybody? King of Dragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the DC Collectibles DC Essentials Aquaman. Here we do have Aquaman in the packaging. What we're going to do now is take a little break, get them opened up, and then we'll have a better look at the King of Atlantis. So stay tuned, everyone. And so here we have Aquaman posed and out of the packaging. Now before we have a look at the figure, let's actually have a look at his accessory. Aquaman does come with one accessory, and that is his trident. And it only fits in his left hand, which is a little bit unfortunate, but it's a really nice sculpt. I do like the way it looks. You can see it has the 3 points at the top. And it kind of looks like Aquaman's A right here, and I really do like that. Like I said, it only fits in his left hand only because his right hand is a fist, which is a little bit unfortunate. Would have liked if he had two open hands so that we can have him holding his trident with both hands. But still a really nice accessory, and I am glad that they included it with Aquaman. So what we're going to do now is have a better look at the figure now that we've already had a look at his trident. And so here we have a better look at Aquaman. Now I want to touch on this head sculpt. This is a really nice head sculpt. I really do like the way DC Collectibles was able to make this head. When I think Aquaman, this is actually the head or the face that I think of. It's not what he looks like in the comics now. In the comics he has longer hair and a beard, but this is how he looked at the start of Rebirth, and I really do like it. It has this really heroic look to it. He has a really defined jaw, which I do like. His eyes are really nice. They're blue. The eyebrows are painted really nicely, and I really do love the hair. It's kind of like a dirty blonde, and there are some highlights in there, so I really do like that. And just overall really nice detailing on his hair. Now let's have a look at the figure, because he actually has a really nice sculpted torso, arms, and that's just a really nice detail that a lot of people probably don't appreciate, but all his scales are really nicely sculpted. They actually went all the way with this Aquaman figure, sculpting every single one of his scales, which is a detail I'm really glad they included. Another detail is that he has a gold trim along his collar, so that's really nice. Really reminiscent of what he looked like at the start of Rebirth. And again, really loving just this torso. They did use a metallic orange, which it really does stand out, and I love it. It captures the light and reflects perfectly, so really good job there. He is wearing his gold belt, as you can see. It's done really nicely. It shines really well in the light, and it just contrasts the dark green and the metallic orange that they used. So overall, really do like that. His gloves do have kind of like a fin to them, so I'm really happy that they did incorporate the fin into the design somehow. And then he does have the standard legs going all the way down to his boots. And his boots are unique. He actually does have the fins sculpted on. Although on mine the right leg is a little bit warped. Nothing a little heat can't solve. But really liking the fins on him. I would have liked it if the fins were just a tiny bit longer, but as it stands, this is still a really nice little addition. And there's really not much to say. He does kind of have the same build that all the Essential figures have from the waist down. But I'm not at all upset about that. It's a really nice detailing. The sculpt on his chest alone is enough to warrant the pickup for this figure, and I am glad I have him in my collection. So with Aquaman's details out of the way, let's actually compare him to a few other figures you may have in your collection. So here we have Aquaman posed next to a Marvel Legends Cyclops and a DC Multiverse Superman. Here we have Aquaman posed next to a DC Universe Classics Black Manta and a DC Universe Classics Aquaman. And finally here we have Aquaman posed next to the Essentials Black Manta. So with the comparisons out of the way, let's actually have a look at Aquaman's articulation. Now he does have the standard Essentials articulation. If you don't know what that is, let's actually run through it really fast. He does have a ball joint in the head, which does warrant some up and down movement. Very little head pivot, and we do get left and right rotation. Although on mine, you can see mine is actually really stiff, and it actually returns back to its original position. It is a little bit unfortunate, and I will have to fix that. But for right now, just know that Yours might not have this issue, but mine does. That joint feels really rubbery, so I'm not going to try to force it. He does have a hinge in the neck, which lets him look back about that far. He can look down that far. Arms on a ball joint go out to about that far. He does a full 360. He also does swivel at the bicep. He is double jointed at the elbow, no issues there. He swivels and hinges at the wrist, no problems there, although this hinge doesn't really seem to work that well. You can see his wrist just returns back to its original position, and I have actually got that joint to move, but I don't know why it doesn't do that. The right hand hinge works fine. Left hand, I don't know what the issue is there. Ab crunch does go forward about there, goes back about that far. He does have a waist swivel, which works really well. Legs do go forward, back, and out. Although on mine, it is a little bit loose. You can see that leg doesn't want to sit right in. There is a visible gap right here, so that is a little unfortunate for mine. He does have a swivel at the thigh. He is double jointed in the knee. No issues there. We get really good double joint there. He swivels at the shin. Pretty good articulation there. Has a hinge in the foot, which goes back and forward. Also rotates at the foot, so we do get a proper rocker ankle with this figure. So overall, really loving the articulation on this Aquaman. So what we're going to do now is take a little break, get him posed for my final thoughts, and then we'll wrap up this review. So sit tight, everyone. And so here we have Aquaman posed for my final thoughts. Overall, I really love the way this figure came out, and this is probably my favorite Aquaman in my collection to date. I really don't have too many Aquaman figures, but this is actually up there in the list. Now, I was able to find this figure at my local comic book store, so thank you Asylum Comics for getting me this figure so I could review it for you guys. If you are looking for the DC Essentials Wave 2, they are starting to hit comic book and specialty stores, so go ahead and check them out. The Essentials line is going to run you $22 to $25. I got mine for about $22 or $24. I don't remember what the price was. But overall, this is still a really fantastic figure. If you're a fan of Aquaman or just want a new Aquaman figure, this is going to be one that you're going to want to have in your collection. With that being said, guys, I'm KingofDragons 5000. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel, go check out all my other action figure reviews, as well as all my other DC collectible videos. Hopefully you find them informative. As always, if there's a figure you would like to see me review, let me know down in the comments, and if it's in my collection, I'll definitely have a look at it. Until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Take care, everyone.